Good morning, Franz. How you doing? We got a follow from Pine Lions? Why did I get a notification for Pine? I'm confused. Mewtwo's was first and first. First every day. First today. Followed by Ace. It's good to see you again, friend. How you doing? The Death Sand. Pine Lions is saying hello. Cora is giving us a hydrate, smashing cans into our face. Fantasy is on a 75 stream streak. Oh my god! No, it is a party for sure. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing your time with us. You know that I always appreciate it. 75 streams in a row. Holy shit. I can't even keep a 3-stream streak on most channels. I feel bad. The Death Sand is also streaking, getting more powerful by the day. 15 stream streak again. Thank you for sharing your time with us. You know I appreciate it. Thank you for making the community a consistent place for people to come to every day and know that there are friends here that they can talk to. That is what we are about. And Ross Riders also arrives. Unlimited power! Morning, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends. Absolutely. Ross is existing. Cora, hello! How you doing? Everybody just piling in this morning. Maybe we'll get a Neff talking today. Perhaps a necromancer. We need our barrel father, our resident bone daddy. Things are not the same without him. Cora is dead. You're gonna join Necromancer's army? Stroke! No! Cities were just leveled. Just a single Meowthekeen, the most dangerous one. My headphones are sitting funny. Why is this? This should not be. Why? Why must I be asymmetrical? We still don't have the standing desk set up, but we do have the other shelf done. Somehow there's more room in my room. Even though I have the same volume of space, it just stuff got rearranged a little bit better, I guess. And so we've got more room. And soon we'll have more desk surface. It will be a tight squeeze, but I think it'll be fine. I think I left just enough space for the desktop. I can move one of the shelves over just a smidge. Like, I think I got like another 2 inches before it hits my mirror. But, yeah, desk is getting done after stream today. And it's probably going to require some drilling. Going to have to drill into the desk. But that's alright. And thank you to keep up with my... Thank you to keep up with my randomness. Yes. I found a flower biome Minecraft finally. I came home with 13 parrots. Oh, it's okay, Mewtwo's. Honestly, by the time I was done with the shelf, I was pretty tired. So, it's spreading it out over time. It's anticipation. It's good. It's fine. I would have needed Cheese's help anyways. So, and he wasn't home. We have an unshrimpening happening. Everybody unshrimp their spines. Give yourself a little wave back and forth. Don't forget about those muscles on the size of your rib cage. Those get neglected all the time. Just a little wave back and forth like seaweed in the ocean currents. 'Tis a morning. We're having grumbling mode. But yes, I went out with Mewtwo yesterday, right after stream. She calls me on Discord and she's like, I'm creeping on you. And it took me a moment to realize that I should look out my window to see her car parked in front of my house. So we went out. She had some errands to do, so I went with her to do her errands, and then we had dinner. She bought me dinner. Thank you for dinner last night, Mujus. It was very tasty. Creeper. That's a very nice stream you've got there. But yes, stuff, things. Got to hang out with friends yesterday. Where's my OBS? I tabbed off. I got too many things open. Wishes they were in Arcanine sometimes. But then you wouldn't have thumbs. That would be awful, not having thumbs. We're gonna work on some Blue Frost a little bit more today. And Marinai, she drew a first fan art. I gotta save it first. I'm just dropping in the folder here. Marinai drew the first fan art of Witching Hour ever. Copy image. There we go. Where's my OBS? It's one of those mornings. Necromancer with the cubis. Create new from clipboard. So we got a little doodle of Blue Frost. She did say she has to fix the eyes, so, but it was probably very quick doodle, but it looks good. So yes. Which file am I working on? This file. Sure, just still surprised I had that dream of being an Arcanine, but as a family dog. Ross Riders becomes furry. Isn't some big goofball of a dog whom, despite her size, and what she could do was just behaving herself. The big dogs tend to be the most well-behaved, though. Today I don't need pain meds. My shoulder isn't as painful. That is good news, Fantasy. Good news, everyone! Fantasy is no longer in agony. We should have party. Disco, party. I have to fix the color of her skin because it's a little bit desaturated. That's a little bit too much. It's looking a little gray. There we go. I'm going to set this layer to multiply. That's better. Is there a little punk lady? Mewtwo's figured out who she is. But she knows more about the story. Like, she had a bang on. Like, goddamn. I was like, I try so hard not to ruin anything about this character. And she doesn't show up to, like, maybe book 3? Everybody's just gonna be anticipating Blue Frost's arrival. I think this is the little shirt thingy. So she's got like a little tube top shirt underneath. And then just this cloth thing, which is probably gonna have more design on it than just this. It's probably going to have a gradient and be a lot darker and going to be a lot cooler. I want to make kind of like an icy version of this little... The pants are just light so that I could see my line work underneath. I dreamed of being sick. It was a very meta dream. Yeah, that happens. Jeez, but I will still just rest up and not do too much. Yeah, well, you don't want to exacerbate whatever it was that was causing it, right? Give it time to heal. I'm starting to think it might be time to get a subscription to one of those music services like Epidemic Music so that I can play their music on stream so that we can have better music. And since I can attach it to my YouTube account, that would be good. Because, quite frankly, I'm getting sick of this music. When it's so hard to find something in the vibes that I want that's not, like, electronic. So, no chance of, secret underboob for anybody. We've got the tube top now. Because underboob is not allowed by Twitch TOS. No boobs. Okay. Let's do a little bit of line work here. And yeah, big dogs do tend to be more well behaved. Oots, 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 party parrot, party parrot. I know that the party parrot is supposed to be an emote, but it only shows up as party parrots in my stream chat on OBS, like the text. But it worked very well. Variety is the spice of life, or so they say, yeah. Twitch is just being haters. Obviously, boob not family friendly, yes. Boobs are absolutely not family friendly. I need to fix this line a bit. So, speaking of boobs. Because this shirt doesn't make sense yet. I might even get rid of that shirt altogether. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna work on the line work on her face. Because, sketch is bothering me. Sorry, just in a bit of a concentration mode. Did Roman arrive? Hello, Roman. How you doing today? Thanks for returning to the islands. Oh yeah, Goro's fine. Yeah. Twitch has some weird rules, and they don't equally enforce them. It's pretty bad. Most children have touched boobies too. Not like most children have seen them. Yeah. You know, we only shoved our faces into them as babies. Why are boobs not family friendly? They literally made the family. Exactly. Wrong organ they provided for the family. Nope, without them there would be no family. You need to have the boobs. The men need the boobs. Sometimes in more ways than one. Who here has had any merfolk related dreams? I mean, maybe. If I did. I don't really remember? Question mark? Meh! Art! I did not see the art. I will look at the art. We'll go to our thing. Oh yeah, it's pretty neat. Perspective is really hard to do, especially with people and running. Is it fan art for something? First artwork. Oh, OCs. They're very stylized. Are they inspired by something, Roman? I asked because I had one the other night, but I can barely remember other than me turning into one somewhere when I really didn't want to. Yeah. What are they inspired by? Because I don't recognize the IP of what they're inspired by. There's a lot of IPs I just don't know. My comments are not seen. What? Just because I don't always read it. Did you see the video I put in artist? I know the person who drew that is super nice. Yeah, it got pushed beyond what I had already read fantasy. That's why I didn't see it. I'm not ignoring you. I would never do that. You know that, right? One of them looks like Shy Guy. How to draw steampunk Snoopy. The Artful Doodler. I'll check them out later. Little cartoon donkey thing makes me think of like Cuphead or something. It's a very... Oh... Fuss. Oh! Meow! Just being dramatic? Okay. I just don't want people to feel bad, you know? I feel bad when people feel bad. This line is wrong. I still have a lot of difficulty with line weight as an artist. And I really need to work on that. But it's something I just still can't grasp for whatever reason. Like, from a learning perspective, I've watched tutorials on line weight. And I just haven't broken through that barrier yet. Curler nose is also wrong. If it's not right, it's wrong. It's such a revelation. Oops. Oh, my head. Thanks for the hydrate quota. You have one of his drawings and you love it so much? That's cute. They are all season made for my big comic idea from left to right. Strafter Essel, cartoon donkey from another world. Fua, the masked homunculus girl who is obsessed with loose socks. They sound really, like, interesting characters. And Moi, the bandit with big teeth who laughs like... I'd only... I have made an attempt. It's hard to tell with text, not gonna lie. Inspired by Shy Girl. Or Shy Gal, yeah. Straff the donkey is the main character. I love it. It's unusual, it's different. I hope it goes well for you. Go make the thing. Make art. Whether people look at it or not, make art. Okay. We'll just continue right into the hair, I think. Line art is really a skill all on its own category. Like it's hard. I'm gonna reduce some of the sketch here. There's quite a bit of it we don't really need. Yeah, go ahead. Post your OCs. Talk about them. That's what arting is for. Or like you've got uh, if you've got a writing project, whether it's a comic or whatever, you can put it in the libraries. The library is meant for threads that are like work in progress for people who are writing something. So if you've got a story and you want to share it with people and you want to get feedback or just do like a work in progress updates kind of thing, you can totally post that in the library. That's specifically for writing projects, and that includes comics. If you're making like an audio book or something, you can post that there too. So that's specifically for things related to literature. If you've got lots of artwork that you just want to share because you do lots of art, whether it's like specifically for like fandom or whatever, you can actually create a studio thread, and studios are for art that you have completed. I should probably name that galleries, shouldn't I? I think we should rename that to the art galleries, because that's for finished things. If you've got a long-term ongoing project, Fujitech, what the fuck? If you've got a long-term ongoing project, Fujitech is being weird. That's where you. That's what workshops are for, and for like if you're making a robot or a piece of armor or a big sewing project, costume design. So like I've got my design thread for Nameless in there, and then I've got an art studio thread for where I just post pictures of stuff that I've finished. I was posting unfinished whips in there as well, and I think you could probably use that for that as well. So like you get sort of one thread in each category, unless you're writing like multiple books. In if you're writing multiple books, you have multiple library threads. I am writing multiple books, but the only one I'm posting about right now is the Witch Hunter Society. Yeah, a studio's post would be a great place to post that. Unless you want to post a library thread about the OCs that are for your comic, and you want to talk specifically about your comic. So, but if it's all your OCs for everything that you've ever made, fan art, whatever, you make a studio thread, because that's the best way to find it, so it doesn't get lost in all the people like sharing YouTube videos and tutorials and whatnot in arting. Arting is just like general discussion about art, and that falls under like crafting, and well, we have a crafting category for that too. But like if you're just showing like a one-off whip of something that you're working on and you don't care whether it gets seen or not, you can throw that in the regular channel, but like it might get missed, people might not say anything. And if you don't want people to like post in your studio post or whatever, just say please don't post here talking arting about it. Because people should be able to post in other people's threads. I'm pretty sure I turned that on. Discord can be complicated sometimes. It can be very complicated sometimes. Well, like if... Yeah, so like that 10%, if you draw them a lot and you want to share them, then like yeah, create a studio thread. Oh, what am I on? I'm on the wrong layer. But if you're specifically talking about your comic idea, I would recommend putting it in the library. So, like, when I do commissions, I post them in the art studios. Sometimes I'll just throw a whip update into the art chat. Library for things specifically related to the comics. But like, you know, I'll still post my witches in my art thread in my art studio, but I will also mainly post updates and design work, sketches and whatnot in my library thread because they're specifically related to that. And it just sort of like, if somebody wants to follow your comic specifically and they don't care about the rest of your work, because people are like that, then they can follow your thread specifically for your comic. But you can post them in both places. It's not like I have to store the information myself or anything. So... It's just some of us are writers and artists, or we're writers and crafters, and sometimes we make things using different mediums, and not everything fits into either just drawing or painting or crafting. But I didn't want just like generic art category, because I want people to know that when they show up, we accept all forms of art here. Yeah. So like Ross could have his art studio and like his mermaid race car story that he's writing, he would have a library thread for that. But if he creates a video for like a fandom or something, he could post that in his art studio. But he could also post a video about his own story in both art studio and his library thread. He could post it in both places. That's not against the rules. We're just trying to keep things categorized in a way that's not too overwhelming, but also like easy for people to be like, I just want to follow uh like fantasy's horse story, but I don't really care about anything other than the horse story, so anything fantasy posts that's not the horse story, uh they don't have to see, because that would be in Fantasy's art studio and not her horror story thread. Because they're just people like that. There's certain things they like and they don't really care about anything else. There's people I follow on Twitter specifically for Mo Daozushi stuff. And I only go back to Twitter to look at their stuff because they won't post to Blue Sky for whatever reason. This line is incorrect. Well, line art is hard. Let's go up here and reference this arm. This little spot in the picture looks weird. And it makes me wonder if this might be a very gritty AI. Part of me is legit surprised anyone is still at the dumpster fire yet. Can't understand why someone would be there. It's because they're still making money there. Ah, this is what's wrong. The only reason I was going to delete my account, but the only reason I still have my account is, one, to follow this person, and two, because I don't want someone trying to pretend to be me and scam people. It's the only reason I still have my account. But hey, Elon Musk is probably going to go to jail, so as soon as we can get some real people in government in the US, Elon Musk is probably going to jail for the rest of his life. If not, be deported back to South Africa. And in which case, I hope Canada bans him. We don't need that fucker here. Like, if only the US had a Westminster democracy, like a Westminster Parliament, then, or parliamentary democracy. It's called a Westminster democracy or a Westminster Parliament. If you guys had that system, you would have been able to have a vote of non-confidence in your president already and have a re-election. Because you would have a vote of non-confidence not only against the president, but also the entirety of the Republican Party. You guys really, really need to fix your electoral system. I don't like this arm. Evil arm. Yeah, you just get rid of it. It's because it's the wrong shape, right? Get this thing going on with the hand right here. Since we're using that as a reference. This is wrong too. I think that's what's been bothering me is the angle of this shirt is wrong. Doesn't help that she's got a bracelet on her wrist. Foreshortening is so hard. I turned down the music yesterday, didn't I? Yes, I did. I thought it was a bit quiet. Is that better? Yeah, another time. Another time is good. Let's try and follow this sort of like fold line here. Just soft, light fold lines. And I'll set the crotch depth for the pants to right here. Because there's a little bit of pulling from the elastic in the waistband. Question is, do I want to line that in or paint it in? That's always a choice. Finger keeps sticking to my tablet. Should probably get one of those artist gloves at some point. My dad's coming for my mug. Thank you. There's like 7 hydrates worth of coffee. I'll let him know you said hi when he comes back. Let's see, we got this little one coming out like this. That's going underneath. Tucks in right there. I need to flip the canvas for this. I'm having like a pseudo deja vu right now. It's really weird. It's not quite the same feeling as deja vu, but it's very close. That's pretty close. Get back to normal. Now I'm thinking of the scene spec out the line. I'm not going to spell too much on it. Say at the start of the game kicks off and media starts before things cut out. At some point you get back to that very point at the start of the conversation. Wait. Oh wait, this isn't right. Well, it's too late now. Deja vu. You see, like, that, I think, is artificially put into the picture. If there's something going on here and here that are kind of weird. Maybe the pants come in different colors and they Photoshop the black in. Fantasy has booped my snoot. It is the boop snoot. Like the droop snoot. But it is the snoot that gets booped. The boop snoot. Boop boop. A fourth wall lean. Okay, this part of the shirt's really bothering me. Because it should be going behind her arm. There's a little bit of a problem here. The elbows weren't level. One arm was way longer than the other. As you start getting into more anatomy, you start realizing your problem areas. Let's see. I'll erase this. Help clean up our arms a bit. That looks so much better. This part needs a little bit of work. Not erasing, but yeah, with how loose this tank top is, again, I'm not liking it. Maybe it'll be better once we get the mesh top in, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce more of our sketch. You posted them all? Let's go take a look. It's definitely a very interesting style. It kind of reminds me along the lines of like the old cartoons, kind of like Cuphead, like old Mickey Mouse, Cuphead, and other things like that. Looks good. I like the pencil pitchfork. It's very, very imaginative. I like it. The strap is based off of one of them. It's fascinating. Good job. Create more. I hope your comic does well. And make sure you actually create it and not just talk about it all the time. I know a lot of people who talk about like stories that they want to write and then they never actually write anything. They're just happy to talk about world building and that's the end of it. And I'm like, this is such a shame. You need to create the thing. I wish I could get away with wearing stuff like this. These pants look so comfortable. But like, I do not have skinny bones. And all my length is in my torso. So I have very short legs. I'm leaning a little too hard into the reference, I think. These pants have pockets in strange places, too. Or flaps. It's being women's pants, I can't imagine they have any real pockets at all. They're probably just fake pockets. Okay, we're going to go back up to the hair, I think. Cora, you said this yesterday. Yep, you can only get better by keeping at it. Maybe I'll go this direction. Wrong layer. Let's start from here. I think line weight is probably going to be the key to making this look right. The thing that I am worst at. Well, you look at like most of the Macross pilots, like they're kind of prodigies too. It's okay to have a character that's, you know, very talented. Usually your main character is going to have something about them that's exceptional to, you know, other people. For Alexander, it's specifically his witch power, right? I do kind of like that her hair is longer on this side. Maybe there's a little bit at the back from the back side too. That's true, even just to focus on 3 of my OCs from the 21st Time OC Starlight. Yeah, like, nobody wants to read about a main character who has nothing exceptional about them. That's sort of why you're here for the story of this character, or the characters that are around this character. Like, you look at Sherlock Holmes, and the narrator is Watson, and Watson is already, in his own way, kind of an exceptional doctor. But it's Sherlock that is the focus of Watson's diary and his notations. And Sherlock is the exceptional person. Like, he has flaws. Yeah, he's often depicted as someone who's addicted to drugs and in some ways adrenaline, but he's not like an adrenaline junkie in the way that like someone who does skydiving is. So in some ways, like, Watson himself, who is the narrator, is not the main character, but he's also, in a way, the main character because he's the narrator. And he's exceptional in that he's a doctor, and he's observant and talented as a doctor. You know, he has a particular set of skills. He was in the war. Thank you for the hydrate. I at least have a soda here. Nice diet 7-Up. Oh, sorry, 7-Up Zero. I'm trying to think of a story where things are just like normal. And even then, you know, you like, god, what's the one that I'm thinking of? I can't remember the title of it, but it was somebody just writing about the anecdotes of their life as like a Japanese American or a Japanese Canadian during the time of like World War II, and like how their mom or their aunt or something owned like a grill, but even then, like parts of their life were exceptional to what we experience ourselves as normal everyday people, where like the war was happening and uh, people were being persecuted for being Japanese and put in like concentration camps and stuff, and that's exceptional in itself too. Even though the people in the story are just regular people, the circumstances that they experienced are extraordinary, and that's what sets story apart from everyday life. Even autobiographies are selected as stories of people who have had extraordinary circumstances, like an actor or actress, a director, someone who was a president or a senator, or won a Nobel Prize, or discovered something new in science. You know, they're exceptional in their own kinds of ways. And it's that exceptional that makes the story. You wouldn't read an autobiography about me because nothing extraordinary has happened in my life. I've just been me. Now, my story could be interesting to people who just like stories of everyday people who, like, you know, I've been bullied, and I've just like every time I try and do something in my life, something always goes wrong, but I still persevere. Like, that in itself is a story. It's not a story worth like writing a ton about. It's just a little anecdotal tale. You know, maybe if I keep pushing forward enough, maybe I will have something extraordinary happen. Maybe the right popular VTuber will raid me one day and the community will really pick up. But I might get overwhelmed. That's kind of scary. That's a scary idea. But, you know, maybe my book will get published and I'll become a famous author. You know, that would be an extraordinary thing. That would be an extraordinary story. And you guys would be part of that because you've been here since the beginning. And it's like your character doesn't have to have special skills necessarily, but something extraordinary does have to happen in the story to the character for it to really work as a tale. And I think that's really what sets stories apart from banality, is the extraordinary. So you have to keep that in mind when creating something. Is like, how is this different from just existence? And would people, like, if your goal is to have people read it and see it and be partial to it and enjoy it and want to go out of their way to experience it and spend their time on it, it has to be something that's going to draw people, that people are going to want to talk about. Whether it's people who love celebrities and rappers so much that they don't pay attention to science and know that we bred dogs from Lolivs, not moles, wolves, then, you know, like that person would spend their time reading an autobiography of their favorite rapper. Or maybe even a rapper that they've never heard of before. Because they're like, oh, who's this? Why are they famous? Why do they have an autobiography? Here comes the tea. Thank you for the tea. Necromancer said hi, Dad, earlier. Just smiles, holds up his hand, walks away. Let's see, what have people been saying while I've been doodling here? I suppose. Yes, oldest normal human has insane marksmanship abilities. Again, extraordinary. In and out of his machine. But isn't afraid to throw hands. Just doesn't have the fastest reaction timing. Again, a flaw. But he's the most experienced. Again, something. It may not be like super extraordinary, but it is extraordinary from the average person. Number 2 is a younger, but they still have years of experience. They do have peak normal reaction timing. but they're very good at close range combat, be able to move and again, something that sets them apart from other people. It doesn't have to be like crazy skills, but it sets them like just one step above the rest. Ben and Jerry's cookie dough ice cream. Oh, jealous. Like, one thing that sets me apart from other people is the fact that I am here doing this and they are not. It's not necessarily extraordinary, but it's a difference, you know? It's a choice I made that has made positive changes to my life. And for me, like, that's also a story. I will get this. I'll figure out where this line goes if I draw it enough. Sometimes just doing the thing is the extraordinary story. Would Iron Mouse be Iron Mouse if she ever chose to VTube? What if she decided to have a camera and become like a flesh tuber, you know, a regular content creator who shows their face? Would she have become such an extraordinary creator, or would people have been like, oh, I don't want to watch this girl because she definitely doesn't look like her avatar. I don't know what she looks like, but I'm pretty sure she looks nothing like her avatar. Would people have been put off by her and not shown up and helped her? Would she have gotten more different support because they would have been able to see that she was disabled, or would she have been bullied off the internet? Because that can happen too. Would she have become popular because she was disabled? Or would she have become popular for her singing anyways? Like, we don't know. We can never know. It's a story. It creates intrigue. Line weight makes all the difference. That's what I was afraid of. Ah! I think we can take the sketch off now. And let's clean up the color. Number 3 is the youngest SpaceX super soldier. The result of group fighting any space Nazis. Principality of Xeon. Classic kind of shit. Ross, why are you not putting this in the library? Or is this like extant stories? Oh, good morning, Marnai. Hi. We're working on Blue Frost, talking about writing and literature. I've been falling into like deep dives of workflow. How you doing today? Yeah, go post it in the library so you don't lose your thoughts, or like get Obsidian and make some notes. Thank you. I saw the fan art that you made. Technically, that's the first fan art of anything officially Witching Hour, or Witch Hunter Society. Sorry, my brain. You know, you call something for 20 years and then you forget when you change it. That's officially the first fan art. We have, so our first fan character and our first fan art. I am humbled and moved. Thank you. Your cat is upset that your husband's not up yet. Oh no. I hope you don't mind, but I shared it on stream. I know you said you still wanted to fix the eyes, but I was excited. It's still really cute. These eyes are... they need some cleanup too. Yep, there's one of the garbage trucks. Newman by. This is a nice shade of blue. Reminds me of my walls. Hey look, paper drawings are hard, man. I was wondering why you wanted me to bring her back up on screen yesterday. It was a nice surprise, thank you. Almost there with the hair. And we'll be able to throw some of the other color in. Erase more of the bits of sketch here. Delete that layer. Ah! Thanks for the hydrate, Cora. Irrelevant interjection. Thor from Pirate Software is back and lying again. Once a liar, always a liar. He relied on his lies to make him famous. And, he's gonna keep going. Sometimes my radar for bad people is not always right. And I hate it when I get bamboozled. Pen? Okay. Big head syndrome. Well, not quite. It's not too big. I think we're going to turn off our sketch entirely now. Still not happy with the little, like, crossover tank top thing. Might just go with the tube top. Came up with a fun magic and ability origin for your world building. Cool. Write it. Do it. Make it. Make the thing. Pants. We're gonna see what happens if we just give her a tube top. At least we can turn that off. The concussion. Who sent the sleep spell? I did. You're getting very sleepy. It's a chill day. Sleep is fine. If you get a little extra shut-eye because my streams are so chill, I ain't got a problem with that. Ah! Why have you done this? Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't take our meds! Neff hasn't given us our med reminder today. Oh my goodness. Everybody take your maracas. It's maraca time. What is that? That emote, I can't even see. Oh, it's a brick! That's a good sleep spell. Oh yeah, go right ahead. You can create your own witch character if you like. Cora's already done that. He's got his own witch. Ugh! Thanks for the hydrate again, Daff. Just cans to the face. You know, just regular tube top works. Turn off that. This looks so much better. Okay, we can turn off the, oh wait, no, I still want to grab the hair color. Right, we can turn off the other blue frost. We'll drop that down back into our extras folder. So far, one of our more complete witches. I like that, you know, I'm getting to the point of different body types too. Shadow Strider, the Grim. Yeah, he has his own witch hunter too, yeah. She looks like someone who would have tattoos. Witches can have tattoos as part of like their outfit. So they can have basically temporary tattoos. Note down all the characters and character ideas I had in mind so far. It's a long list to remember to design someday. I do recommend using Obsidian for note taking. So I've shown my Obsidian before. But I recommend it for note taking because you can have all sorts of little windows open in the program itself. And under my Obsidian as well, I have all of the outlines for the different books. Or arcs, as I call them, because they're not necessarily books. You don't really necessarily need to break things down into books anymore, but like I have character backgrounds. I haven't written out the backgrounds for all of these characters yet. So I don't want to give any spoilers. So I'm not going to click on the other characters, but I don't want to give spoilers to you guys. I mean, there's already some spoilers there, so try not to look too much if you actually want to read the thing. But, like, these are all the different notes I have from... This is just my index of everything that I've ever written for just this project. Yeah, Obsidian is free, and it's, it uses Markdown. So, sorry, I don't know why my voice is breaking. It uses Markdown language. So you can open up an Obsidian file in any text editor and it will keep its formatting. Which is what's so great about it. Trying to avoid spoilers for you guys, sorry. I'm trying really hard to avoid spoilers. Try not to look back at that stuff. I don't want to spoil a story for you. But yeah, it's free. Obsidian is free and it's open source. It has a lot of community plugins. So, like, I've got better word count, and I haven't touched Calendarium yet, but it's used for creating, well, your own calendar system for your worlds. You forgot to download Obsidian when moving laptop? Well, you can just download Obsidian again. It's small, it's easy to use, and you can basically do anything in it. I even have soundscapes installed. So I have like a little YouTube player thing in the corner. So that I can turn on a playlist from YouTube and just listen without having to pop out of Obsidian and possibly get distracted by the internet. Typewriter scroll is really good because it keeps your the line that you're working on in the center of your screen, rather than like, you know, you're writing and then you end up like down at the bottom of your screen while you're typing and it's slowly pushing your text up. So it's just easier on the eyes. Just little things like that. There's fast text color allows me to add text colors. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to add text colors. It's not really built into Obsidian. So somebody wrote a little code for it that allows you to set your text colors. And that's what I use for when looking at like the arcs here. So I have a little key, and you can add your own colors. So I've added a light gray in for stuff that I've edited out. Thank you for the hydrate again, Death. Yeah, a lot of people use Scrivener for writing, and I stopped using Scrivener because it doesn't have a dark mode, or at least the version I have doesn't have a dark mode. I think there's a dark mode now, because people kept complaining, but I would have to buy Scrivener again to get that dark mode, and I don't want to because it's like $50 US. So, and I've bought Scrivener twice now, and I don't want to buy it again just to get dark mode. And this has, I find Obsidian has a lot more freedom, and I've got this cool visualizer now of all of the files that I have and how they link together. You need water? Okay. Don't forget to hydrate. Hydrate or dehydrate. You always had a dark mode? What, in your Scrivener? Then you must have had one in the newer versions, because the version I have doesn't have it. Are you on Mac or PC? Because I think Mac was the first version to get dark mode. Yeah. So, like, I decided to start using Obsidian also because it had more flexibility. There's some things I don't like when I click on a folder, it only expands it. So if I click on the folder, I don't see everything that's in that folder. Like, it doesn't show up as like everything's connected and then broken down by with like line breaks or something. It's not broken down in sections, and I wish that was a thing. That if I clicked on a folder, it would open in my active window and I could see everything that was in that folder. And I might still look to see if somebody has made that as a plugin. I just don't know how to search for that. I don't know what it would be called. So maybe I'll like go to the Reddit and ask. Somebody might have the answer. $80 characters? That's a lot of characters. Don't be careful not to overwhelm your audience with characters. One thing you'll learn is that sometimes 2 characters can become 1. There are other times a character has to be split up into 2 different people. My character list looks so long is because most of my normal people are also witches. And so I have to have the profile for the witch and the human version of the witch. I don't have that for every single character because there are some characters that only show up as a witch or as a person, and like there's a convenience store in the book, and you know eventually you come to realize like this guy is a witch, but I don't think he ever shows up in his witch form ever. But you find out that most people in North Cove Hunt are actually probably very likely witches, like the whole population. Of witches of varying skill level and degree, so not all of them have a transformation either. Initially, I wrote this as kind of like a magical girl story, and embarrassingly, the witches all had like a little phrase they had to say to initiate their transformation. It was very magical girl. It was awful. I have since removed that stupid idea. Now, that doesn't mean there can't be a witch who doesn't do that every single time they transform. There might be a silly one out there that does that because they can. Just background characters? Hey, background characters are important. And, like, sometimes people fall in love with background characters. Like, you need to... If you're gonna have a background character that shows up more than once, then definitely have information about them, and because it'll help them seem more human. Like, if they're just, like, the police officer and part of the fire crew that are in the very beginning of my story, like they just exist. You they could encounter that same police officer 5 or 6 times during the whole of the whole tale, and you will never know that officer's name. Like, he's just there to act as like a catalyst for something. But it could be a different officer each time. I don't know because they don't matter. They're only there to answer a question or facilitate something happening. Sometimes the background characters die. That's why we have background characters. But if you have a background character, I would say that shows up consistently, definitely they've become an actual character. But they're like a tertiary character. They're off to the side, but they're someone who still has background. Like the lady behind the counter that gives out the guild quests in a fantasy story. You know, she's someone who would have a background. But like the guy who sweeps the floor in the tavern, probably not. Fantasy is Boop My Snoot. It is the Boop Snoot. Like the Droop Snoot, but it's a lot less weird. It is the Snoot that gets booped. The Boop Snoot. Thank you for the Snoot Boop. Like, my main character's group is fully made by 5 people, 3 who saw my big artwork, but 2 are introduced in later arcs. Yeah. Like Blue Frost, you don't see her until like book 3. At least. If not longer. Cool janitor. Hey, maybe there is a cool janitor. There's a cool convenience store owner in mine. He's Chinese. His name is Wu Chung. Do I know what his name means? No idea. I just looked up Chinese names and picked one. Because his name doesn't have any bearing on his existence. As most people are, you know, my name has no bearing on my existence. So witches have unique transformations? Well, they have unique forms. Transformations, yeah, you could say they're transformations, because, well, their hair and their eye color can change, they can have tattoos materialize. There is a period of time of transition, and that's technically a transformation. Their clothes, too, their clothes utterly, completely change. But it's not like magical girls where their clothes completely disappear and there's like this whole scene with the weird movements and shit like that and sparkles. It's just a phase change kind of thing. Good morning, Raven. How you doing? But yeah, so that's Obsidian. I recommend it for writers. You can find tutorials on YouTube for Obsidian. I recommend looking up some. You don't need to go ham with the plugins. Like, my plugins are very minimal. Some people have crazy plugins. Um, People use it for everyday note taking, everything. They use it as like their offline wiki of knowledge. It's like a second brain because you can link the documents to one another to create that sort of node cloud that I had in the corner as sort of a visual representation of your knowledge and how everything connects together. It's really fascinating when you get to see some of the really, really big, big files. Like, mine is nothing. Because mine is specifically geared towards my multiverse. Oh, I wish I had the desk built. My tailbone hurts again. But yeah, Blue Frost's other human form completely looks different. Like, she wouldn't have any tattoos, but this one probably would. As a matter of fact, let's, since we're gonna get rid of that overshirt thing, let's take this layer that's existing already. And we're gonna take a different approach to the, to the net top. Now here's a question. Would she be wearing the net top over top of the tube top or under the tube top? It depends on whether it's skin tight or not, I think. Mer. Ah! Durr. I've been struck. Thank you for the hydrate, Cora. Yeah, so is her tube top skin tight or is it loose? Not her tube top, her mesh top. Either way, it's tucked into the pants. You've been struck by a smooth can. You just can't. I was going to erase the top, but I realized that's probably the wrong way to do this. It's almost definitely the wrong way to do this. Or should I say it can't? Alright, it's gonna be skin tight. I think the seam for this one's probably gonna be here. Which means the seam is going to be here. Do you use OC music to get inspiration? Depending on what scene I'm writing, I do need music. I think this is gonna have to go above the line layer. Send me some sketches. Oh, very cute. Yeah, you went over with one and under with another, if I'm not mistaken. Into more actual pants. Okay. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, I'm still deciding on whether... I definitely want, like, the shirt itself to be skin tight. I'm still not sure about making the sleeves loose, and I'm not sure whether I should put the tube top over the mesh or under the mesh. But I think the tube top's gonna have to go under the mesh. That would make the most sense, because otherwise if your mesh slips, it's gonna take your tube top with it, and then your boobies are gonna stick out. I've never actually watched JoJo. I probably should one day. I just dislike the art style. I don't like to be that person, but it's the same reason why I don't watch Dragon Ball. I just don't like the art style. Kind of did the pants quickly. I was mostly focused on the shirt. Yeah, I tolerated the art style in One Piece, but for the most part, I'm just like, eh. My problem with One Piece is it's just so damn long. There's so much filler. Why? Put another seam in here. Question is, can I make this work? Or am I gonna have to erase a bunch of these? Will definitely require some cleanup, that's for sure. having the mesh follow the curve of the body is very weird. This is a spot where I need to fix. This is where things are going to stretch and flex the most. I've always found it fascinating how, like, a millimeter difference in a line can make all the difference in a picture. And how you perceive it. Back, you think? Oh yeah, the character designs for One Piece are pretty great. Not gonna lie. Alright, let's flip it. I'm gonna start, right here. Nope. My brain's telling me to start here. This requires so much precision and concentration. This is gonna go here. They don't have to completely line up on the seams, it just looks a little bit better if they do. Sorry, I'm so quiet. Focusing real hard. God, I hope this looks good. It's a lot of work. For kids. Oh, for kids. I don't really know, but I have heard, I have heard that, at one point in Yu-Gi-Oh! Some, like, guys had guns, and they just, like, deleted the guns. Which is shocking considering the American culture around guns. Marinade has just subscribed! Necromancer, thank you for the gift.
Necromancer Dark is hosting a guest. Welcome Marinai to the island.
Marinai, please enjoy your subscription and your attendance pass to the continuing everlasting Necrocon. Necromancer's gifted 393 subs to the channel. He's a crazy man. keeps me going. Him and his commissions. Still need to tell you a price for the dog portrait. I'm so focused on this stuff that, like, I haven't even finished the picture of Alex Preddy. I think I might just have to finish the Alex painting off stream. Because we're getting into the gritty details, and that just takes a really long time, and it would be boring, even though I just did a whole bunch of gritty details on stream right now. So I contradict myself all the time. I think I like the dark blue pants better than black pants. Might change the mesh top blue from that electric color, because that's more Blue Machine's color. Just straight black. Could just leave it as a tank top too. Oh. Yeah, Necromancer is too kind. I really appreciate it, Necromancer. Thank you so much. Always supporting the community. Making sure people don't have to be in ad jail all the time. I hope Trix comes back someday. It'd be nice to see Trix again. More friends! Wiggle, 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 wiggle. I think it's time to take a break and wind down from the drawing. I think I have a Dendronia meeting today. Or maybe not. It's labeled as Hangout. When's the leadership panel? Oh wait, no, leadership panel is today. Yep. Got leadership panel today. So TGIF is like an hour pushed back. I declare Necromancer Dark Appreciation Day. Every day is Necromancer Dark Appreciation Day. Every day is Necromancer Day, because every day is Necrocon. Seeing Valkyries just takes me back a few decades when I was like, I wish I was a girl. Why can't I have a dress like that? You can have a dress like that even if you're a guy. We just need to get society to be like, yes, guys can dress however they want, just like girls can already dress however they want. And if people have a problem with it, they can fuck right off. Is that the orb? He's got the party orb? I didn't know he had that. Is that new? I love that. Just do it. Fuck the haters. Exactly. If you want to wear pretty dresses, wear pretty dresses. Like, fuck that. Remember years ago there was some fashion show, among them were skirts for men. Look, before pants were invented, all men wore skirts. Maybe I will, at Necromancer Dark, still have to pretend I'm a cis guy around family. Ugh. I hate it when the family doesn't accept you for who you are. Grr. Arg. Anger. I am angry on your behalf. More just disappointed. I wouldn't say angry, but disappointed on your behalf. How's it? Because that's somehow different than kilts? No, just tell them it's a kilt. It just happens to be a frilly pink kilt. I would wear dresses like that if I could pull it off. And I would still wear the shorts underneath. It's funny because my mask side is actually more femme than my femme side. Where's the meds message? Somebody hit me with a hydrate earlier, and I realized that you haven't given us our med update, and I had forgotten to take my meds because you weren't here, Neff. Thank you for the hydrate. See, Neff, you're important to our community. You make sure we take our medicine on time. Your nice street. Oh, Ross is late taking his meds too. Ross is late taking their meds. Ross, do you want me to use a different pronoun for you? I've just always done he. I never asked. But since I know that you're not sis, or I could call you sis as an SIS. Falls back into the beanbag in the corner. Aw, yeah, I've got a beanbag chair, Neff. I've got a beanbag chair. It exists. So there's canonically a beanbag chair. More for they, them, she, her, but not he, but he, him is alright. Okay, so you're like me. It's just like any of them. Fuck gender. Yes, please. Joy and Ham in the shade, Marinai. And you too, Ross. Oh wait, no, Marinai's going for it now. I saw the purple, and I saw Ross's name, and I read Marinai's thing. Alright. Enjoy your nap in the shade, Marinai. Thank you for the suggestions for the shirt. I'm gonna stick with the tube top. I like the tube top. We might even stick with just the tank top and not do the sleeves. Maybe I'll do the sleeves as like on a separate layer as a test thing, but yeah, I'm kind of liking the black. I did like the blue initially when it was still a sketch, but it somehow, like, whenever I go from a sketch to a final line art, a lot of things tend to change. Like, it looks good as a sketch, but once I get into the finals, it's just like, that doesn't quite look right. And that's why, like, Starcatcher, I had to just undo everything, and then I was looking at those pants, and I'm like, Starcatcher would wear pants like that. But I'm like, no, those are Blue Frost pants. I need to find some examples for Starcatcher again, so I need to go through my files. But after stream, I'm going to be moving everything off my desk and grabbing the big plate of wood from downstairs and working on setting up my desk for the standing desk so that we can have a standing desk Monday. So I can get exercise-ish and not sit on my ass all the time. Maybe I'll actually get below 300 pounds. That would be very nice. I would love to be lighter. Because, yeah, I'm sick of being unwell and unfit and unhealthy. I'm just sick of it. So, we've got to make some changes. Sometimes it's hard to do, but it's always worth it. The difficult things, the good things are always difficult and never easy, but they're always worth it. That's what I think. And sometimes you just have to look at it that way. Sometimes hard mode is worth it. So, I'm going to get working on my desk immediately after stream. And then I'm going to have my leadership panel. Hopefully I'll not have to take my desk apart or my computer apart before the leadership panel, and then finish the desk after TGIF and family time. And that's when I'll have to take apart my computer, because, well, I won't be using it anyways. The most adult thing I'll say regarding my gender identity is that gender dysphoria is real. Yeah, it's getting harder to ignore as time goes by. You're only 15 pounds from that goal? Under 300? You can do it. I was at 326 when I moved home. But I started eating better because I only eat what my brother gives me for dinner usually, and whatever I drink for stream. And I don't drink anything with sugar in it. Absolutely not. The only sugar I get is if it's in food, like in a sauce, like a mustard. It's the only time I get sugar. So, and like I cut that amount of sugar out of my diet like 15 years ago. Even before that, it was probably closer to 17 years, and I still got over 300 pounds. So it's not just that. You do need some exercise, but carbs are probably the worst thing you can ever consume. And never mix your fats and and your salts together. Don't mix your fats and your fats and your starches, not salts, starches. Don't mix your fats and your starches together. And if you can, if you are able to, I recommend like one meal a day. But sometimes if like you're losing weight and you plateau and you can't lose any more weight, I find it sometimes helps, at least for me, in my case, to go back to like a regular eating pattern for a couple of days and then go back to OMAD. But I know you can do it. I believe you got this. The most potent sugar you get besides with some food is hot chocolate and ginger ale. And you try to water that down every time. I would cut those, and you'll probably find you'll lose those faster. Or like go to a sugar-free ginger ale. I know that the sugar-free stuff still, like the alternative sweeteners, still cause an insulin spike. But Ross, if you've got questions about like biochemistry and how that might be affecting you, I would talk to Cheese. So just like fire him a message and ask him about it, and he'll probably have a chat with you because he knows a lot more about this stuff than I do. Like it's his special interest, and he loves talking about it. Like honestly, he should have his own YouTube channel, and he should just discuss it. He should have streams discussing it. He would probably do very well. He's very likable. Cheese is much more likable than I am. He's a better person than me, and he's smarter than I am. He just hasn't had much opportunities to really shine. But if you have questions about biochemistry related to food and diet, and other things like supplements as well, and vitamins, everything that I've ever mentioned about these things, I got from him, and he knows way more than I do, and he's better at explaining it. So definitely talk to my brother. So not Cheese Sussy, but Cheese. He's got a squirrel in his profile picture on my server. So, if you have those questions, maybe I'll create a health and wellness channel on the Discord if people want that. And if you don't want to see it, you just turn it off. So you can choose whether to look at that information or not, just as you can choose to look at news or tech or science. I might split tech and science. I don't know. I feel like there's so much in the science channel. I just need to have a science category and break it down by like areas of interest. So like history, humanities. You know, the way a university would break it down. We just need a universities channel. I might shoot a message to you because I've been struggling. All right. It sounds like that we might want a wellness section. Yeah, so I'll look into creating that later today. But if you have specific questions, I recommend asking Cheese because he knows a lot about it. It's his special interest. My dad's not on my server, and he doesn't like to interact with other human beings. So that's the only other person I know who knows a lot about this stuff. But it's Cheese's special interest, so I highly recommend going to him. And then Mujuice just sent me a picture of a pizza. The breakfast pizza. Oh, good lord, that looks amazing. Hold on, I'm gonna share this to stream. Oh, I'm gonna make you all just die right now. Look at that! It's a breakfast pizza! Ugh! I'm jealous. of that pizza existing. So apparently you get that at Gabriel's. A Streech, a major unshrimpening. You're just becoming a full lobster at that point. Just becoming an eel. Thank you for the Streechies. I appreciate it, my friends. My adopted son. Mostly look out for my diet also. Yeah, like, the other thing is, like, here in Canada, unprocessed food doesn't have any taxes. So, like, if you learn to cook, you save a lot of money. Necromancer, thank you for the second gifted summon of the day to Ace and Use.
Necromancer Dark is hosting a guest. Welcome Ace_in_use to the island.
Enjoy your time and your attendee pass to Necrocon, the everlasting convention, even if you die. Because he'll just raise you. Then you become staff. Party orb, yeah. We need to have like a party cubist now. I need to make more animated emotes. There's so much I need to do. I still want to make the stream pets, and I want to have like a better background, a moving back. God, I do not have enough time for all the things that I want to do. I still need to build my tent. Death is not an excuse for lack of attendance. The way that it hit me in the head, it just cut me off. I love that. It always makes me sad when people turn off the falling emotes thing, or the emotes flying across the screen. Any character idea you're hyped to draw soon? I definitely want to redraw Vaughn and Alexander to match the current style. They're the main pair. I am really excited to redraw them. Just to give them a little bit more motion and life, because the pictures I drew before are very static. It's a dancing duck. Dancing duck. Or is it a goose? Is it a goose or a duck? It's a deuce. Wait. What's the gimmick? There's no gimmick other than they're gay. Well, technically, Vaughn is pan. Alex is, he's like, I have no idea. He's kind of like me in that regard, where he's just like, I don't, relationships? I just want family. He's like, I just want to be loved. The overarching, like, entirety of the theme of the whole series is basically finding home. You know, finding the place you belong and the people that are important to you. So found family is a major overarching theme. Yeah. So, like, initially, Vaughn was very, I guess he was more bi-coded, but I think he's actually more pan than bi. Like, I don't fully understand the difference as someone who is neither of those things. Because I'm diamoric toric, so I'm attracted to masculine presenting people only. I am not attracted to anyone female. But I also find attraction to some androgynous people. So, like, trans men, I find them attractive. It's just my preference tends to be for males, and specifically the male anatomy in that regard. So, in some ways, I'm lucky because I appear to be a cis female. But I would have much rather been a boy. But I'm not enough in that scale to be, like, fully trans, you know? That's why I'm just gender neutral. I'm just a potato. We are all potatoes. Just round, lumpy tubers that live in the dirt, We're all delicious in our own way, and when we get too much sun, we become toxic. It's been a while since you guys heard that one. Still the best clip. Oh, I know a pan person. We do have a pan peoples. Thank you for the hydrate death. I did redeem it. Now I'm reminded of Celebrity Deathmatch with some genetic mutation freaks that were made from parts of celebrities. What? Alright, we're gonna start looking for someone to raid here. Who's on today? Still no Evan? Evan, we miss you. Neff has booped my snoot. It is the boop snoot, like the droop snoot. But it is the snoot that gets booped. The boop snoot. Ah! I got hit in the head by that. I saw that on Twitch, so it's like a belated ooh. Because I'm looking at my Twitch screen to find someone to raid, and we've basically just got Mokomate and CNOT and Tube. Basically, your 10 years old, my friends was how she might be by. I told her. She has an ego problem, by the way, clearly. Loosey goosey. The bombs. So, do you want Tube or Moko, guys? I feel like we need to set up something together because I can't get myself to just sit down and lock in on my costumes. Yeah, that's always hard. I'm having a lot of difficulty locking in. I need to start making mock-ups. Alright! We're off sailing to other waters / raid tubular _ troll. So, my friends, we are off sailing to other waters. May you wash ashore in distant lands and find new adventures. I appreciate you all coming every day this week. Welcome to our new people who have found us this week. Matrix oddly return to us soon. And Roman, thank you for joining us and sharing your stories, because that's what we're about here. And I will see you guys on the weekend. Everybody have a fantastic time, and I will see you on Monday morning. And remember, I love you. Bye-bye.